Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Eric VM Hoi Soy. That's right, that's me. I am the voice and the broadcaster for FutureSquawk. Guys, welcome to the chart talk this morning. For those guys following along on YouTube, that's right, there are no charts today. There are no charts because there are some rights issues associated with that, so you guys will just have to follow along on your charts at home. Guys, we did talk about, let's talk about the ES first, right? Let's talk about the ES first. So guys, on the 4-hour lean, guys, we have established, and I'm going to move it down a little bit, not to say that I think we should take more risk, but I think we should be looking a little bit more towards the center of that balance, and I had it a little bit higher than it should have been. So let's go ahead and move that down. Let's look at that 60 area. We're going to look at the 59 to 60 area here in the ES. I had that at 61 quarters, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and double check that. But looking at the 59.75s as our 4-hour lean on the ES, the long lean bias, we're looking for a price pattern at the, we had it at 61.5, guys, yesterday. We're going to go ahead and change that up real quick. Let me do a little copy paste here and just be able to have some of that information stored for posterity's sake, if you know what I mean. So yeah, there we go, guys. I'm into the copy paste. There we go. Long lean bias at the 4-hour time frame. Price pattern into. We had it at 61 halves yesterday. We're in that same area. We're looking for 59.75. Looking for a price pattern in and around that area. We have no bias on the 30-minute time frame. If anything, we have a short lean bias, guys. We are initiative out of balance to the downside currently on the YM. We're currently initiative out of balance only on the YM on that time frame. But guys, we are seeing overlapping price activity here on the ES. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at that and see how we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 full areas of balance, and that trade up yesterday into the 88 was a good sell. We did talk about that, as that was a failed initiative out of balance to the upside at a key area. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna, well, no, I'm not. I was gonna fat cram this whole thing, but I think you guys can see what this upper line is. This upper line at the 86 halves. Yeah, I'm just gonna drag that over. That's the upper extreme of our balance, guys. The lower extreme of our balance is, there's no doubt about it, lower extreme is the 66s, 67s. So that's the lower extreme of our balance. I'm showing 68 quarters, guys, ish. So I'm not taking into account that tail from the overnight, from Friday's trade. Not taking into account that tail lower. But yeah, guys, so we're trading up from 68s all the way up to the 86s. So that's 18 points of range if my math skills don't fail me. And we did see trade up in the overnight session all the way up into the 84.77s, 85s, and then we did see lows down. Yeah, 85s were the high. That's right. And we are seeing definitely that 67.75, 67 halves as the lower extreme of this area of balance. We'll see how we all trade here during the day. We're seeing 175s at 2s last, guys. Off that 70 low into the 7 o'clock time frame. That crude is starting to come off a little bit, and this is a good time for us to take a look at the DAX and the FTSE, guys. DAX is down 75.9 and FTSE is down 41.3 in chart talk this morning. So 75 and 43s, 41.2s last in the FTSE. So guys, that's what we are seeing here. We are taking a look at, this is our 4-hour lean. Let me just put that on the chart. I'm going to add a drawing and a little text note here. Guys, that's our 4-hour lean, right? So if that 4-hour lean gets invalidated, guys, then we not only do we lose, guys, that 4-hour lean, but we also lose some of that. Well, we've already lost the 30-minute, we've already lost the 5-minute and leans, and yeah, we definitely say adios to that 4-hour lean. So guys, we did have a long lean bias yesterday on the 5-minute. Key area was price pattern into 79 quarters, guys. We were looking for 79 quarters in order to see sustained trade above that. Would have been nice for us. We would have loved to see that yesterday, and we did see it, and we saw some continuation higher, guys. So we were looking for a price pull back into the 79s, and we were able to participate in and around that yesterday. Hopefully you guys went home with a couple points of profit on that boring trading day that we had yesterday. Definitely boring trading day. All right, guys. So we did invalidate that fairly early in the morning, that long lean bias. Guys, today currently looks like we have a short lean bias on the 5-minute time frame. What is our key area? Let's take a look at it, guys. Let's take a look at it. What do we want to see on the 5-minute time frame? How do we know that the 5-minute time frame is still right? So we do have an extra area of balance that formed in the full day session pretty much yesterday and into the overnight trade back below that 76. So guys, I think that first sign of warning, right? First sign of warning is the 76.72s trading. I think that if that happens, that's one of those hey you look at me moments. But I think we can really invalidate that. Yeah, I think that actually right there, I'm not even going to go up to the middle of the area balance. As we've seen overlapping price activity here, guys. Seen overlapping price activity, and we've seen initiative out of balance again, forming another balance here down lower, and initiative out of that balance. If we see trade back up above that 76 evens, I think that that's good enough. 76 evens are good enough to invalidate that the 5-minute lean. So guys, we're looking for sustained trade below 76s today. That's how we'll know that the so we're looking for sustained trade below, right? Let me type that up. Sustained trade below. We're looking below the 76 evens, right? All right, so as long as we stay below the 76s, I think that the short lean is still intact on the 5-minute time frame, especially after that selling that we saw in the overnight session. However, guys, today we did have a remembrance here this morning for the victims of September 11th attacks. Yeah, that's right. We did have that, a 1-minute pause this morning before the open. So guys, we are seeing that start to roll over a little bit more here. So let's see what we do see on the 5-minute time frame. So I think that 5-minute, yeah, 76 is a key area for us. Additionally, guys, let's go ahead and move it on over, rock it on over to the YM. Yeah, let's do it to it on that YM. We are seeing overlapping price activity on the 4-hour time frame, guys. So that for YM, we still do have a long lean, guys. Long lean on the 4. We're looking for a price pattern into 359 on the 30-minute. We have a key area of interest into the 756. We did talk about very quickly, guys. We did talk about why so deep, why the 359s instead of 376s for that 30-minute versus the 4-hour, guys. It's because right here, down here at the 660 area is that breakout zone. Let me zoom out, zoom. There you go. There is that breakout area that we did talk about, guys, from that 650, 660 area. That was a big area for us to break out of. We saw overlapping price activity on the 30-minute time frame. I think that the trade down here calls into question that 30-minute bias, whereas at the same point in all the other majors, with the exception of the Russell, guys, the NASDAQ and the ES, we are looking at that 4-hour lean, so that we're invalidating at this point. So guys, let's take a look at it. Let's see what we're seeing. But yeah, because we're above the 640, 650 area, 660 area that we broke out from. So guys, definitely a key area here on the 30-minute on the YM, guys. Key area here on the 30-minute on the YM. And yeah, you can definitely see it. We have put a text note here that we are looking for that price pattern here into that 4-hour trade, or into that 30-minute trade, guys. We are seeing overlapping price activity. There's no doubt about it. Overlapping price activity in a chop zone all the way from this from this 087s all the way down to the 841s, guys. That's from last Thursday essentially, all the way down into last Tuesday's trade. We traded in the Friday as a low, and we are initiative out of balance to the downside now. So I'm going to go ahead and fat cran that whole thing, if you don't mind. There we go, boom, fat cran. All right, excellent. So now we are seeing overlapping price activity and initiative out of balance to the downside on the on that 30-minute time frame, guys. So what do we have here? I think nothing has changed. The only thing that we have to look at is the 5-minute lean. So guys, what we had yesterday was a price pattern on the 4-hour into 25,359s and anywhere above, guys. On the 30-minute, we did have a long lean bias with a key area of interest right into the 756, and a long lean bias, guys, on the 5-minute. Yeah, yesterday we did have that long lean bias. That's gone away in the overnight session, especially with that initiative out of balance. So on the YM, guys, we are putting a short lean bias on this market today into the open, guys. And how would we know it's wrong? Yeah, that's easy to say. Let's take a look at it. I am highlighting up for you guys into the overnight session after that sell-off into the 3 o'clock time frame, 3:45 time frame. I am seeing overlapping price activity from the 828s all the way down into the 785s. And then again from the 802s, which did not get above the middle of that previous area of balance. From the 802s all the way down into the 769s, which are the low of the day. We're trading 779s last. Down 126 points on the day, which is a 0.5%. That ES is coming off. We're seeing 0.75s at 1. We're within 3 ticks of the lows of the day, the low of the overnights, guys, on the ES. So guys, that short lean definitely comes into play. We did see, we are seeing overlapping price activity. I think trade back up through the middle of that previous area of balance, that 808, starts to call into question, and definitely, yeah, definitely starts to call into question. And then anywhere above that. That 827, we definitely don't want it anymore. We definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that short any longer. So, guys, that is a fairly large stop. Yeah, you bet it is at this point. We're talking about right now. We're talking about a good solid 30 points of stop in the YM at the first node, and then the second node we're talking about. Talking about 50 points. We're talking about 50 points of range, guys. So that is a big big area. But I do think that I'm sorry, that's a fairly large stop loss. But I do think that is that's a good way to see the markets today, as to the downside currently. And we'll know when we're wrong. We'll know when we're wrong with that trade back up. So we are seeing short lean bias on the 5-minute. Key area is price pattern into. We were looking at the 994s yesterday. Today we're looking at the what did I say, 802s, guys? Oh, 808s. So we're looking at the 808s as the first area, right? 25,808, and trade above that, right? Calls that trade above. Calls that short lean bias into question, right? All right, guys, and that is the YM. Let's run over and do it to the NASDAQ, guys. To the NASDAQ. So yeah, guys, join me as we do. There is the Oh, that's the YM. What am I doing? There's the NASDAQ. Wow, it jumped over on me, didn't it? All right, cool. So that is, remember, guys, we did talk about the 74.20 area as the 4-hour long lean on the NASDAQ. You can see why. You can definitely see why. Looking back, guys, you can definitely see why. We saw overlapping price activity. We saw initiative. We saw a whole host of trade here. And this is the last area that we took off from, as back up through that all-time high, guys, up to that 30 all-time high. Are we potentially shortchanging ourselves? I think we may be a smidge, guys, but we are still down here at the 55s. I don't know whether to leave it at the 55, the 53 area, or bring it up into that the 73.53, or bring it up into that 74.17. I really don't know. I do think that we can definitely overlap that, but we didn't see a full rotation back down, so that's why I'm sticking with this lean right here, right now. I could be wrong about that though, guys. I could be wrong about that. So we will see how the price develops. I will be looking to take another shot into the 53s if and when we get there, which is the middle of this larger area of balance. Yeah, from the 7500s all the way up, all the way down to the 7187s, which were the middle of that previous area of balance. I think we could definitely see that. We have seen overlapping price activity, but we didn't see a full rotation back down the second time, so that that does call that into question a little bit. So I will be looking again, just me personally, at the 53s if we roll back over through there, 53s. But today I think the short lean is definitely to the downside on the 5-minute time frame. On the 4-hour, I think we're still good, guys. I think we're getting close. We're trading the 22s last. I think of that low. That low here, guys, 74.04s, and that spike down into the 92s. I think that's a big area. That's the lower extreme currently, guys, and the upper extreme is clearly up here at the 92s. So we're talking about 100 points of range, guys. We're talking about 100 points of range here in the NASDAQ, and we have seen the NASDAQ is down 37 on the day, but we did see trade all the way from. Yeah, we did see trade all the way from the 86s. Highs of the day are the 86.75s. Yes, that is correct, 86.75s, and we are seeing that NASDAQ start to come off. We have seen some support here on the 4-hour time frame, though, so that's definitely something that we would want to be taking a look at. So I'm looking for a long near the lower extreme. Initiative out of balance failed. Initiative out of balance to the downside back into that price area. Looking for a rotation all the way back up. But yeah, guys, definitely on the 5-minute time frame. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about that 4-hour lean. We are looking for a price pattern into the 74.20s, and if that fails, the 73.53s, 73.53s. Okay. If I'm wrong about this smaller area of balance being the 4-hour lean, and actually go back into the larger fat cran, then 73.53 is where we'd be interested. But guys, I don't see any reason to be long, particularly at this particular moment. No bias on the 30-minute time frame. We would be able to establish a little bit of a bias if we saw sustained trade above that. Let's call it that 80 area, guys, or we saw a sustained trade below that 7400 area. So above the 80s, and below 7400. All right, guys, and then we did have a long lean bias yesterday on the NASDAQ. Today, clearly a short lean bias, right? And how will we know we're wrong? That's a great question. Let's go ahead and zoom in, zoom into the into that 5-minute NASDAQ, as we saw it trade down this morning into the 74.31s off of the 48s, guys. That's clearly one area of balance. Second area of balance, we came up to approximately the middle of that area of balance, and we're seeing initiative out of balance to the downside. Guys, trade back up above that 40 definitely calls into question this lean on the 5-minute time frame. Trade back up above the 40 calls into question that lean. So guys, we're talking about 15 points of risk here to the downside currently. So key areas, we're looking for a price pattern into 74.40. That would invalidate that that short lean bias, right? As we saw initiative out of balance and trade back up through the upper extreme. So guys, I think we are in a chop zone. We did talk about overlapping chop for the last week. We did invalidate those 5-minute leans and those 30-minute leans quick, fast, in a hurry on these majors. And we did talk about chop, right? All right, so that's what we have seen. Hopefully we'll see something on the open this morning. Guys, that's the 8 o'clock bell in the background. That's the 8 o'clock bell. So yeah, guys, I think that our lean is to the short side on that YM. Let's take a look at the Russell. Russell, I don't even understand. I'm not even gonna lie. I do think that the 30-minute lean on the Russell has been invalidated. We have no bias on the 30-minute, but on the 4-hour, we are looking for the price pattern in 1681, which is the middle of this area of balance here, guys. At 1681, middle of this area of balance on the 4-hour time frame. And could we tighten that up? Yeah, we definitely could try to tighten that up a little bit. The 85s perhaps, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we saw. You guys can see the highlighted areas here. The 96 perhaps could tighten it up. I still think that 7981, 79 to 80 area is a big area for us in that Russell if we roll back over. I think that's a good target to the downside if you guys do have that short lean, since we do have no bias on the 30-minute time frame. If we see initiative out of balance one more time to the downside, I think we can put a 30-minute bias on it. We saw one area of balance here from the 35s all the way down to the 19s. Yeah, we're talking about. Let's see, what day was that? Let's go from the from 940 to 96. And then we did see trade initiative out of balance back up, not even to the middle of the extreme, middle of that area of balance, previous area of balance that we did talk about, from that 36 all the way down to the 20s. Not even back to the middle of that area of balance, and we are balancing lower. So, guys, I think that that definitely calls into question some of that. Or we can actually look at perhaps a short lean with initiative out of balance below that 1708 spot 8, which is 6 points below us. All right, guys, so that is the 4-hour lean. 30-minute lean, we have nothing, but we can actually aggregate, and we can add a long lean. I'm sorry, a short lean on that Russell, not a long lean, a short lean on that Russell with sustained trade below that 1708, guys. Let's take a look at the 5-minute, because 5-minute is what we're trading on a daily basis. Yeah, yesterday was nutso day. We did invalidate that. Short lean, or that long lean that we had yesterday on the Russell. We invalidated it with trade below that lower extreme after initiative out of it, and then we saw a spike back up through the upper extreme. We put that long lean back on, and it rolled all the way back over again, guys. So that Russell has been. I hate to say it, but I think it's fair to say it's been fairly manic, guys. Manic in its trade recently. It's not following any technical trends, and we are seeing clearly, guys. We are clearly seeing overlapping price activity. We do see failed. We are seeing initiative out of balance, but it is a failed initiative currently out of balance in the 5-minute time frame. So, guys, trade back above this larger area of balance here, the 1717 spot 7, right? I think that a trade back above there, I think that clearly invalidates our 5-minute short lean on this Russell. But below that 13 even, guys, below the lows of yesterday's regular trading hours, I think that really adds to that downside lead, and I think we could see some continuation, some flush back down. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and write that up on the chart, guys. We do have a long bias in the 1681s, no bias on the 30-minute. We are looking to add a bias below the 1708 spot 8, and we do have a short lean bias, right? Short lean bias on the 5-minute time frame. The key area, how we'll know we're wrong, is the 1717 spot 8s, guys. So we're looking for we're looking for price pattern into that, but if we see trade back up there, I think that invalidates. Need to see sustained trade below 1717 spot 7, which is exactly where our long lean bias was yesterday at 1717 spot 8. So I think on the shortest time frames, guys, I think that's what we are seeing. We are seeing short leans all the way across the board. We do know where we don't want to see it. anymore. So guys, boom, chat blast. There you go, chat blast. I just posted all that up for you, everything that that I had memorialized in our chart talk this morning. And yeah, thank you so much for those of you guys who were watching on YouTube, those guys who did go out and take a look at this. We are appreciative for the patronage that you give us on YouTube. And guys, no doubt about it, this is a FutureSquawk production, which is a Lost Child production. That's right, and this is dedicated to my son, whom I love dearly with my whole heart. All right, guys, so this is for you, kid. All right, so that concludes our chart talk for this morning. You can reach out at sayhi@futuresquawk.com or head over to futuresquawk.com, and yeah, you guys can definitely take a look at what we have to offer and join our wonderful, growing, and amazing community of traders that we have here. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, YouTubers.